Here's an Aussie bragging right you may not be using. We invented sex. Well, at least this is where it all started, 380 million years ago. Living creatures physically mated here for the first time. It was Australian dinosaur hunter John Long who made this startling discovery. And I can tell you it's causing a revolution in evolution. I've just spent a fascinating few days with John and his team unearthing the saucy secrets of our prehistoric past. And I can report that even in the world of paleontology, size isn't everything. Local ranchers call it the Badlands. Out here in this dusty, dramatic corner of the American state of Utah, not much survives.
You've really got to have that experienced eye to know what you're looking for.
But if you're into fossils, this is the promised land.
You don't see rock, you see potential.
Yes, we see dead things. We're in the right zone here to find a dinosaur practically anywhere in the sediment.
Australian John Long is one of the world's leading paleontologists. A scientist whose work has brought a revolution to evolution.
So is this a good area to start spreading out, Lewis, and having a bit of a look?
Today, he and his colleague Lewis Chiappi are introducing me to the thrill of dinosaur hunting.
Here's a piece of bone.
Oh, really? That's a dinosaur bone.
Piece of dinosaur bone, probably a much bigger bone, yeah.
Yeah.
I may be in my 50s, but I've just had a little, 5-year-old moment.
Absolutely.
Well,
Wow.
dinosaurs are for all ages.
Thank you.
Not just for little kids.
Oh, look at the size of that.
Yeah.
That's a big one.
So,
That's a whole bone.
Yeah. And right up there too.
another one, yeah.
There's 2 bones.
Some
you just
gentle
start
brushing.
gently brushing the sediment away from the bone.
Slowly, carefully, we start to unearth the bones, most probably part of a leg. It's quite incredible to think this is the first time this dinosaur has seen the light of day for 150 million years.
And this would have been an adult dinosaur?
It looks like it. Like something like a Apatosaurus, Diplodocus. They're the sort of dinosaurs that lived in this environment. Yeah.
Brachiosaurus, one of those.
Big.
Which is, from Jurassic Park.
This is Jurassic Park, huh?
Let me paint a picture for you, Liz. I see it as this big meandering river system. Lots of trees, lots of ferns. There's a group of long-necked sauropods over there, eating ferns. Suddenly, behind the bushes, there's an Allosaurus, a big carnivore, and he's stalking them, waiting for a chance to pounce.
Bone collectors like Lewis and John are really time travelers. Although most dinosaurs vanished over 60 million years ago, it's not a lost world. Digging up the past helps remind us that there was a long, fearsome line of creatures that dominated planet Earth before humans.
It blows my mind a bit that that's a real dinosaur.
That's a real T-Rex. That thing could have eaten you in 2 seconds if it was alive.
The Tyrannosaurus rex was the undisputed leader of the prehistoric world.
17, he wasn't fully grown. He was a teenager.
Little wonder he's got pride of place here at the Natural History Museum in Los Angeles, where John Long is now the boss.
What does it tell us about our past? I mean, there really was, it was another world, wasn't it?
Yes, but it was a world that was on steroids, compared to the world today. But it also represents a world of wonder, when the age of the world, the whole planet covered with a different kind of animal fauna. And to me, that's a fascinating world. You can lose yourself in it.
If it's big dinosaurs you want, then it's big dinosaurs you'll get here in Utah. And there's no doubt the T-Rex, the Brontosaurus and the Triceratops are the rock stars of the fossil world. But it turns out size isn't everything. Some of the most important scientific discoveries have come from the smallest fossils, and that's where Australia comes in.
Australia's such an important country for paleontology. You know, if there were world firsts like gold medals for the Olympics, we would have a swag of them. We've got the oldest fossils on Earth. So basically, this is the skull, and there's the nostril there. There's another one around there. This is the top of the skull here.
So this is really us.
This is us 380 million years ago.
That is extraordinary.
That's our ancestor.
That is amazing. You know what, I don't think a lot of people realise we come from fish.
No, they don't. They always think of us coming from little hairy ape-like creatures, which we did, but as you go further and further back beyond the age of dinosaurs, back to the age of fishes 400 million years ago, we've got fishes like this Gorgonasus on the direct lineage leading to us humans.
And the proof of that direct lineage comes from our own backyard.
This is much younger sandstone. It's from the Permian.
This is West Australia's Kimberley. It's here John Long believes life on Earth changed forever. This is the place where sex began. Who would have thought out here the origins of sex?
The origins of sex, and also what sex means to evolution.
When you say sex, you mean like
getting jiggy with it. In other words, sex that was fun rather than sex that was just sporting in water.
So not only were they doing it to breed, but they might have been doing it because they liked it.
I don't think they would do it if it was unpleasant.
The Kimberley was once part of a huge ocean. John and I are walking on the old seafloor, which is today known as the Gogo Formation.
This was the barrier reef of the Kimberley.
That's right. This was the Great Kimberley Barrier Reef that stretched for some 1,400 kilometres from Broome around the coast down to Kununurra.
I don't think many Australians know that, you know.
They don't, and it's one of the world's great geological wonders.
John Long has made some of his biggest discoveries here.
Oh, look at that. Holy moly, what a beauty.
Because inside these limestone nodules are some of the world's best preserved fossils.
But it's not just a fish that's squashed flat like you think of a fossil, they're three-dimensional. And not only the bones beautiful and perfectly preserved, but sometimes we even get soft tissue. We get nerves and muscles preserved.
So they're almost whole inside that rock.
Sometimes you get beautiful, complete, whole fish, and they're like they died yesterday.
Like stepping stones to evolution, they reveal man's earliest origins, from fish to amphibian to reptile to mammals, and the earliest primates.
We're backboned animals like fish, but it all happened within fish. The origins of limbs, the origins of breathing, the origins of sex, all of that happened in that first 200 million years of our evolution. And the nodules here are paramount to making some of the biggest discoveries in paleontology of the last decade. Holy shit!
Get
I
out.
just found one. What a beauty. This is a little rayfin fish, a paleontologist, the ancestors of the living trout and salmon.
Huh.
Yeah, so there we go. We just found a 380 million year old fish. And you did too. That's a piece of bone.
Well, that's
In fact, that's placoderm bone.
Yeah,
So
no,
and you just found that just there.
I cracked it.
Good on you. You found your first go-go fish. We both found one at the same time.
Get out.
And fellas, take a look at this. A 380 million year old fish found in the Kimberley that has the world's first sexual organ.
And this big bone here is the clasper. In fact, this is the knobbly end with the hooks and bumps on it that was the business end that inserted inside the female.
In fact, this might have been the beginning of the evolution of the penis.
Oh, it was indeed. This is the oldest evidence we have of male genitalia in our lineage, the vertebrates.
It's evidence of prehistoric mating, and the absolute proof was to be John Long's greatest discovery.
This is the actual embryo.
A motherfish, a go-go fossil with an embryo still inside.
Right here, we have the embryo and the umbilical cord and the bones of the actual adult fish. When I saw this for the first time down the microscope, I thought, oh my God, this is an embryo. The oldest embryo ever found in the entire world of a vertebrate animal.
This is a world first.
Absolutely. This pushed back the origin of live birth in backboned animals by about 200 million years.
The motherfish is what's known as a placoderm, the ancestors of sharks who ruled the Earth for 70 million years before dinosaurs. The fact we now know they mated and gave birth to live young was quite simply revolutionary.
And that was a big change in the evolution of animals. Up until that point, they just didn't invest in individuals, they invested in the masses of eggs.
So mothers were nurturing even 380 million years ago.
Absolutely. And the motherfish represents the first example ever found in the world of a mother carrying an unborn young inside it. Look at this big fang here and these teeth at the front. So this is the front of the animal. Can we turn around?
These latest discoveries have been made possible because of technology and computers which can virtually bring fossils back to life.
This is amazing, isn't it? Look, we can see the teeth here that line the inside of the nostril of this thing. It's like a magical Aladdin's cave, and I just want to go in there. I just want to dive in. Can we do that, Tim?
Yeah, no.
And it's technology which enabled John's research partner, Kate Trinastic, to confirm an umbilical cord was inside the motherfish.
So we put it under a scanning electron microscope, and once we magnified it up and we saw the helical structure, we thought, umbilical cord straight off.
And so she rang me up and I got this phone call and she just said 2 words, umbilical cord, and I went weak at the knees.
Yeah, unfortunately it was also April 1st, and a lot of people thought that it was an April Fool's joke, and it took us a couple of days to convince people that we weren't actually kidding, that we really had found this.
Yeah.
The work of John Long and his team has rewritten the science books and made the tiny motherfish just as important as the T-Rex.
Nobody gets dinner till they find a fish.
John could happily spend every day up in the Kimberley whacking away, and so could I.
It's addictive, John.
It is, isn't it? Just wait till you find something, it gets better.
It's treasure hunting for grown-ups, which has already reshaped our views on who we are and where we came from.
And you never know what you're going to find. You know, I could crack this nodule and it could have a completely new kind of fish in it.
Wow, do you want to do that?
Yeah, let's do it. And unfortunately, this one was a dud. On to the next one.
Hello, I'm Nick McKenzie. Thanks for watching 60 Minutes Australia. Subscribe to our channel now for brand new stories and exclusive clips every week. And don't miss out on our extra minutes segments and full episodes of 60 Minutes on 9now.com.au and the 9Now app.